guys, Debbie here. In today's video we're going to be creating a look based on the Nomad Cosmetics Iceland palette. Now I'll pop up a picture of the palette so you can see what I'm talking about. This palette has only recently come out and this is testing my no buy. I really want to buy it, but I'm going to try and convince myself that I don't need it. And I probably will pick it up at some point in time, but I'm going to convince myself I don't need it for now so I don't break my no buy. And I'm going to use all of these palettes that I have from Nomad because I have a lot of their palettes already. And there's some of the shades in there. They're not the same. I mean, I can't dupe the shades out, but probably the vibe of it and what I want to do. So if you want to see me create a sort of fire and ice kind of inspired look, I'm not wearing the look at the beginning. I've taken some feedback on board that I've had. So for the comment that said you'd like to see me create it and not have it spoiled till the end, then this video is for you. So without further ado, let's jump into it. I'll tell you what my plan is and we'll create this look together, inspired by the Nomad Cosmetics Iceland palette. Okay guys, well, the palette is so beautiful. It's got a lot of blues in it, but it caught my attention because there's a row of like really gorgeous fiery tones, which are more my natural home, but I really want to get into blue, as I've said recently. And so I thought I'd do something that I haven't done for a long time, and that's to do a cut crease but with concealer and do an all matte look. So that's what I'm planning to do, and I want to do orange on the lid and blue in the crease. So pray for me because it's been a long time since I've done a cut crease like that. But as I say, I'm going to be using the palettes that I already own from Nomad. So I've got 5 of them here to dip into. Not entirely sure which I'm going to need for what purpose, but I definitely think that I can take the blue from this palette, from the Orient Express. There's a beautiful matte blue in here, so I'm going to use that for sure in my crease. And then there's a black in the Berlin Underground. I've never used the Berlin Underground actually. So I'm going to use the black from there, which is that one. And we're going to build some crease work using those. So I'm going to scooch you in a bit and we'll get started. Just going to prime my crease area with MAC Painterly Paint Pot. I don't want to go on my lid with that because I'm going to be cutting my lid with concealer. And I don't want a million layers of product if I can help it. But I do need something for the mattes I'm going to lay down to blend over. So I'm kind of just avoiding the front part of my lid, as I say, just so we don't get too much product build up. But I do find the paint pot the best to blend over. So I'm going to start with Bon Voyage, this blue here from the Orient Express palette. Never used this shade, I've used the palette before, but always avoided the blues, so here goes, that's what we're going to do. And what I want to do is kind of have an open cut crease, so don't want to bring it right down, I want to kind of bring it to there, because when I do a cut crease with concealer, that's my preferred method to do it. So at the moment I'm just pretty much placing the shadows in the shape that I'd like to do. Probably not taking that quite high enough, but something along those lines. And then we've just got to try and get the symmetry the same on the other eye, which, yeah, that's always an issue as well. As I say, I'm just getting the kind of shape down at the moment rather than worrying too much about how the finished look's going to go. So this is just really the sketch of the look really. But I wanted to try and do it as a full cut crease. That's something I've struggled to do for a long time, so I thought I'd test myself a little bit in this video, as if I didn't have enough trouble in the last video that I did. If you've seen that one, or if you've not seen it, sorry, I'll link it. I played with the Celestial Divinity from Pat McGrath and things got very out of hand in this inner corner, so we're not bringing things down in the inner corner today, so we won't have that problem. But I'm just going to work on blending this line out just a little bit, and I'm probably going to deepen where the cut's going to be with black, but I just wanted to just get the shape down, as I say, with the blue. I think one of the reasons I'm so scared of blue is if you get any fallout, you kind of look a bit of an alien. You can't get rid of it. It's like if it's orange or red or whatever, you can kind of just blend it into your blush, but if you get blue on your face, you're kind of screwed, to be honest. So, and because I like to do my eyes first. My highlight, by the way, which is a very icy one, is this one by Barry M. It's the Tri-Baked in Silver Solstice. I really wanted a silvery frosty highlight, and that's definitely done that. What I really like to do is try and drag that corner out just a bit higher without it getting completely out of control. So I'm just touching the tip of this brush to the pan, just to, that's what I wanted, just that little winged out shape just beyond where my natural brow line is. Now I can get a little bit more intense with that shadow because I've kind of figured out where I want it to go. So I'm just going to go back over where I've been and just intensify that just a little. Now on the line of the cut crease, I want to get some black in there because I want just to deepen up this blue a tad. And as I say, I'm going to go in with Club Natched, which is this black here. And I don't speak German, so I'll probably not pronounce that correctly, so do forgive me. So I'm just going to take that on the lower part of the line there. I'm using Jacqueline Hill JH42 because I want something really precise. So I'm tapping my brush off, making sure I've not got too much of that black. But I just wanted a little bit more intensity in that blue. I'm not going to take that intense line all the way out. I'm kind of stopping it. Kind of if we took a line from here and up. I don't know if I'm explaining that very well, but just to the outer part here. I don't want it going right up there. I think the Iceland palette is one of the most beautiful colour stories that Nomad have done, and they're one of my favourite brands in any case. But when I saw the sneak peeks and realised it was going to be Iceland, I was like really wanting it. I'm hoping I might be able to get it for my birthday. I've hinted to the husband, but he doesn't like it. If you give him a suggestion of what you might want, he kind of says that if you ask you don't get, so I think I might have scuppered my chances. But if not, then I'll pick it up later down the line, because it's one great thing about Nomad is that they keep their palettes a long time on their site, so you don't feel like this desperate rush to get things like the minute they come out. And I really do appreciate that, because this mad scramble that's going on at the moment to get makeup, it's getting a bit irritating to me. Like you just feel like you're going to miss out if you can't get on the site at a certain time, and then obviously with time differences, but there's none of that to worry about with Nomad, which, as I say, is really good. I'm going to go in with like a bullet brush. This is a Sosu by Suzanne Jackson one. It's just got one of these sort of really precise kind of bullet tips to it. I'm going to go back in with that Bon Voyage from the original palette we started with, the Orient Express, because I just want to try and blend that black with the blue as much as I can, but without things getting crazy. I just use the black really just to deepen things, and you won't see the black too much once I've cut the crease, but just wanted that little bit of depth where the cut's going to be. I always think cut crease looks look incredibly weird while you're doing them. So as I say, I've been to Iceland, I've been to the Blue Lagoon. That's kind of on the cruise from hell though. We had the worst weather ever. We were going to be, well, we were on the cruise for 18 nights, and we only got off 5 times because we had icebergs in port in Greenland. We got off there, but then we couldn't get off at the second port in Greenland. And then in Iceland we did get to go to the Blue Lagoon, but then the second port in Iceland we had like really bad weather, like high winds and rough seas, and so we couldn't get in port there. And then we had quite a long time like sailing before we got to Norway. So, and it was the first cruise that we'd taken my mother and father-in-law on, and they'd never cruised before, and I don't think they ever wanted to again after that, because yeah, I mean, I'm reasonably good at sea. We've done a lot of cruises, so I've got my sea legs, but even for me that was bad. We were confined to our cabin for a couple of days. We had forced turns. It was an interesting cruise, but the Blue Lagoon was worth it. It's just magical. It's like milky white blue kind of water, and little pockets of it are really warm and like a bath, and then there's cooler bits of it, and it just makes your skin feel like so gorgeous after you've swum in it. And the facilities there, I thought it was just going to be like part of nature, but it was really well organised, really lovely experience, really nice. So I'm glad we got to do that. Okay, so next up I want to blend above that blue line that we've created there. So I'm going to use the shade Baths from the Antilles palette. Now I don't want to end up with this all the way to my brows, but I've used a bit bigger, fluffier brush because I do want to achieve a blend. So just going 50% on, 50% off above that line. And I think that's working, just to blend that out. And as I say, this isn't a duping video of like duping every shade, but I thought it might just inspire you guys if you've not got the palette, but if you've maybe got other things in your collection. And it doesn't have to be the Nomad palettes, but if you've got these, then you could probably use the same shades as I'm doing. But we're really just creating the vibe of what that Iceland palette is all about, or one of the looks I would create if I had it. It's the first look I wanted to create if I did have it, so I just didn't want to miss out. I felt like I was missing out because I hadn't got it, so I thought I can create a look from it. And you guys seemed interested in that. I did a little poll on my community tab just to see what you guys wanted to see, and it was between the Give Me Glow Christmas Morning and this one, and there was interest for both of them, but this one definitely won to do a video. I hope you guys didn't think I'd actually got the palette, but I did say I look inspired by it. To help me further blend that out, I'm going to go into Guilty 12 from the Orient Express palette. It's just a neutral matte really. I think that just might help with achieving that gradient that I'm looking for. Right, next we need to cut the crease. I'm going in with the Conceal and Define Concealer by Revolution. I don't use this one as concealer anymore because I use the Conceal and Hydrate if I'm using one of their concealers, so I thought it'd be perfect just to use that really. And I've got the Cut Crease brush from Sigma, which is my preferred brush for this kind of thing, and I'm going to need to rock my head back and probably not talk too much while I do it because this is pretty tricky for me. So that's the first cut done, just going to whisk through the other one off camera. Okay, so that's the crease cut. I have touched the line up a little bit with some black just to bring them even. And then what I'm going to do, there's no red matte in the Iceland palette, but I am going to use a touch of red just in the inner part, and I'm going to fade to orange and then to yellow. So for the red, I'm going to use the Orient Express palette. We've got the shade Roaring 20s in there. So I'm only going to use a very small amount of that just in the inner part. I've got a Morphe 213 M213 because it's very tiny, and I should be able to get nice and precise in this inner corner. Because as I say, don't want too much red. I just wanted that little bit of fire in there, so. The orange, we're going to take this one from the Cartagena Mojica palette. And I can go in with a bit bigger brush now because we've got a bit bigger eye area to work with. But again, I'm only taking a very small amount of that. As we move along, I want the orange to be less red, so we're going to go in with 7 Mile Beach now from the Antilles palette. Just packing that on the lid. I'm going to make this one more of the focus for the orange because this is more the shade I think that's in the Iceland palette. I think I'm going to take that about 3/4 of the way across my lid. Finally, I'm going to take Golden Age from the Orient Express palette. I'll just flip the brush over that I was using for the orange. I'm not really loving this red corner, so I'm just going to try and diffuse that out just a little bit. Just bring a bit of that blue down. Yeah, I think that looks better just blended in that corner with the blue. Kind of got a little bit of a purple. We've got a bit of a Northern Lights kind of a shading going on here. Okay, so that's the look to this point. Just gonna hop off camera for a little touch of wing liner and then we'll do the rest of the look together. So that's the wing liner done, guys. Just going to go in now on the lower lash line and do Bon Voyage from the Orient Express palette. Not going to put any black in this time, just going to stick with the blue. I'm just literally going to keep this pretty simple, so just keep this very close to my lower lash line and join it with the outer corner. Just going to blend that out just a little. I don't want the lower lash line to look too crazy. We've got lots going on the upper lid, so I think that's plenty intense enough. And then for the inner corner part here, I'm going to take the shade Paris, just this white shimmery shade. It's got a little bit of a pink to it, so I think it'll look pretty. And that's just going to just go in this little portion that I've left on the lower lash line, but just kind of connecting it with that red in the inner corner. So I think that one pretty much on the eyes mimics the purpley shade, like the lilac-y shade in the Iceland palette, although it looks white in the pan. It has, as I say, got a pink to it. I'm mixing it now with these blues and reds. It's definitely bringing out the pinky purpleness to it. Okay, just gonna hop off camera for mascara and a lip, and I'll be back with you to show you the final look. Okay guys, so here's the finished look. In my waterline, I just went in with White Core by Linda Hallberg. Just wanted to just brighten that lower lash line just slightly, open my eyes a little bit because we've got a hell of a lot of drama on the upper lids going on. And for lips, I've gone in just with a lip gloss today. It's the Lucid Lip from Kaleidos Makeup in the shade Crystallize. Thought it was very blue and pretty. It's just got these like blue and pink kind of sparkles, so I thought it was perfect for the vibe I was looking for to go with the Nomad Cosmetics Iceland palette vibe that I'm kind of trying to create here. This one was a lot of fun to do, and now I don't feel quite so bad that I'm missing out on getting the palette just now. So I encourage you guys, if you can't afford to get the palette, or maybe you've just got lots of things in your collection like I have that you've not tried yet, delve into your stash, pull those out and have a go. It doesn't have to be a Nomad palette that you use, could be anything. Just need a blue, a red, an orange and a yellow pretty much, and maybe some black if you want it nice and deep and intense. I think we've all got those kind of shades. So as I say, it's not perfect, it's not the exact shades that the palette has in there, but it's kind of got the vibe of it, and that's what I was looking to do. So hope you've enjoyed watching, as I say, and if you're new to my channel, I'd love it if you would consider subscribing before you go. Other than that guys, hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are. Catch you in the next one. Bye guys.